Hello everyone, this is Indrajit Ganguly and welcome to your history class. Dear students, in my today's class, I will discuss with you the topic number 7 from the chapter number 9, Imperial Household. Remember student, this topic is very important for your board examination for 8 mark question. So please prepare this topic for the board examination and listen these topics for your upcoming examinations. Remember students, from these topics you will understand the condition of women, basically the women who belong to the Mughal households, and what was their position and how did they control the politics and the other affairs. So let's have a look the condition of the women, the position of women in the Mughal households. Okay, basically the Mughal household is generally known as harem. Harem means sacred place. The Mughal household consisted of begums. Begums, I think you know that, the queens of the Mughal emperor, basically known as begums. Concubines. Concubines can be anyone. Concubine is mother, sister, okay, relatives, they can be considered as concubines, only females. Slaves and servants. Slaves are basically there. Basically in the Mughal household, slaves are basically impotent. Okay, these types of peoples are generally there in the Mughal households. Okay, the importance of the marriage policy taken by the Mughal emperor. Okay, during the time of Badshah Akbar, the Mughal empire expanded mostly western part of India, North India, Eastern India, most of the part of India except South India, most of the part of India was generally captured by the Mughal empire, Mughal emperor Akbar. And by this Akbar adopted two policies. First one is marriage policy and second one is war policy. War policy is that first of all Akbar gave a proposal to a particular territory or particular kingdom for a marriage. If the particular kingdom did not accept the policy, did not accept the marriage policy, that means the policy of friendship, then Akbar basically captured the kingdom. And in India there are lots of instances are there, like the instances of the 1576 battle of Haldi Ghati. So I'm sorry, Akbar's chief army officer Man Singh, he defeated Rana Uday Singh and Rana Pratap. Okay, so by these policies are very important. First of all, Akbar gave the proposal of marriage, and those who are not accepted the marriage, the territory was forcibly snatched from the particular ruler. So these policies are very important. So therefore, I think you understood that. Therefore, Akbar married many Rajput princes. Akbar married to a Hindu princess called Jodhabai. And also not only Jodhabai but also a Muslim princess, Christian princess also there in the Mughal harem and Mughal households. So by this lots of queens and begums are basically there in the Mughal households. But queens are there in the Mughal household. But there is only one begum, there is only one Maharani or the empress of India, that is who is capable of it. Okay, next. That is the position of women in the household, the imperial households. There is a distinction between begums and aghas. Okay, I told you that there are lots of wives, lots of queens are there, lots of princes are there, but there is some distinction between begums and aghas. That means the empress of India and the other queens that were who are the wives of the Mughal empire. Basically, the begums, they are belong to the family of nobles, belong to the family of superior family, and aghas are not so noble by birth. There are also distinctions are there. Those queen or those girl or those women brought immense amount of wealth with her as a dowry, that women considered as important in the women household. Obviously dowry system was prevalent in Mughal empire. So those queen or those princes brought huge amount of wealth from his father house. She should be a very important figure in the Mughal household. There are also concubines are also very important in the Mughal households. Remember students, concubines, they have a lowest position in the household, but sometimes the concubines get the very special position. Just take the example of Mahamanga. Akbar's original mother was Hamida Banu, but Akbar was generally treated, but Akbar was generally Akbar was generally treated by, and he was generally very loved by. He was special. And Mahamanga took special care of Akbar. So Akbar called Mahamanga as his mother. Considered Mahamanga as his mother. But Mahamanga is not our original mother. Mahamanga is a concubine. But sometimes the concubines also get some special positions. Okay. Next, the Mughal queens and princes. Whenever I am saying about the Mughal princes, we have to understand about some of the important names. The first name was Gulbadan Begum. Gulbadan Begum. She is the sister of Humayun and aunt of Akbar. Gulbadan Begum, she wrote a book called Humayun Nama, and from this book Akbar get to know about his father. There are other Mughal princes, Mughal queens and princes too in the harem, important princes, that is Noor Jahan. Noor Jahan is a very important, Noor Jahan had a very important role in the Mughal politics. Noor Jahan, she was a very beautiful. From the name, you can understand the meaning of Noor Jahan, the light of the world. She was very beautiful. And Jahangir was mesmerized when he saw Noor Jahan. Noor Jahan's early name was Meherun-Nisa, and she was married to the Zamindar of Bengal. Jahangir basically snatched Noor Jahan from the Zamindar of Bengal, and Meherun-Nisa later renamed as Noor Jahan. Noor Jahan get a very important special treatment in the Mughal court. Whenever Jahangir did not find any interest in the politics of the Mughal Empire, Noor Jahan took the responsibility to maintain the politics. And Noor Jahan wanted that his son-in-law became the next Mughal emperor. That's why Jahangir's eldest son, that's why Jahangir's son Khurram revolted against his father, and therefore after the death of Khurram became the next Mughal emperor and renamed as Shah Jahan. Okay, there are another princes too. That is Jahanara and Roshanara. Jahanara and Roshanara. Remember students, Princess Jahanara, she made her contribution in the design of Chandni Chowk in New Delhi. The market of Chandni Chowk is generally designed by Jahanara, and you will be surprised to know that the monthly income of Jahanara and Roshanara is similar to the monthly salary of a Mansabdar. So this is the important. So the Mughal princes and queens, they have a special position in the imperial households. It is not like the position of the Indian queens, like you read about in the chapter 3 and 4. Women, the Mughal queens and princes, they have a special role and special position in the households. So this is it for today. In my next class, I will discuss with you about the administrative policy of the Mughal Empire. Thank you and have a nice day.